Everyone, it's John. What up? Welcome back to another video. And today we're talking leaks for Season 3 of Sony and Amazon's Wheel of Time show. Yes, this is another What Up exclusive. And this time we're talking about The Road to the Spear, which is an episode we should see during Season 3 of the Wheel of Time. And a source close to production has confirmed a couple of different things about that episode, and we're going to talk about them in today's video. We're also going to talk just a bit about At.I. Yes, the season is upon us. It's At.I time, and a special guest judge that's going to be on one of the episodes in July. And there's also a Wheel of Time Kickstarter happening right now. Now, I've bemoaned the lack of merchandise, official merchandise anyway, for a long time. And no matter how much I complain about it, it doesn't really materialize. We don't get much official merch. In fact, there's very, very little of it out there, especially stuff to do with the show. Fans have really stepped up and filled in the gaps. And At.I, one of Wheel of Time's biggest fans, has created a card game. It's a question and answer game, and she has put out a Kickstarter to promote this. Now, we talked to At.I a couple of nights ago, and that'll be at the tail end of this video. She'll explain all about the Kickstarter, what it is, how you can be involved. In fact, the link to the Kickstarter is down below in the description box, and what you'll get for the different tiers. Now, all of that being said, at this point, it's probably pretty self-evident that this is a Wheel of Time channel, and we talk Wheel of Time all of the time. If you like that, please subscribe, tell a couple of your friends, share it around on social media, and of course, like the video. Do all the advertising and selling of the channel that I am terrible at doing, please. Now, we're going to get into the video now, and I am going to give a spoiler warning. However, if you don't like spoilers, you want to jump right to the information about the Kickstarter, I will leave a time tag down below where you can skip to. That way you won't have anything spoiled for you, but you can still learn all about that Wheel of Time card game that is coming out soon. So, spoiler warning, in today's video, we're talking leaks from Season 3. So, if you have not read the first 4 Wheel of Time books by Robert Jordan, see Eye of the World Through the Shadow Rising, and have not seen the first 2 seasons of the show, streaming right now on Prime Video, be forewarned, I'm going to ruin plot points and character arcs from both of those mediums. Alright, so we're talking The Road to the Spear, which is an episode we should see in Season 3 of the Wheel of Time. I said should because we have all the episode titles. They were all released, they were all on the WGA website, so we know them all. We don't really know their order, but we know the episode titles. And when that happened, a couple of members of production came out and they kind of said, well, these could be placeholders, take them with a grain of salt, things may change. I think it's more covering themselves than anything else. Now, I will say that during post-production and reshoots and anything else that may happen in between seasons, anything can change. But all the episodes we had leaked for Season 1 and Season 2, the titles stayed the same. And the titles we have for Season 3 really fit the narrative that we have as a fandom, both from leaks and from official sources. So I have a high degree of confidence that The Road to the Spear will stay. Now, in the book series, The Road to the Spear is a very important chapter in The Shadow Rising. It's where Rand enters Rhuidean. He enters through a giant crystal columned Terra Ingriel that walks him back through all of his past lives. Now, in doing this in the book series, not only do we learn about Rand's place in the pattern, we also learn the complete history of the Aiel and how they came to be. This is how Rand becomes Kara Karn, or Chief of Chiefs of the Aiel. He's marked with 2 dragons, one in each form when he comes out, and normal clan chiefs only have 1. So it's a pretty important chapter in the books, and it really sets up the Aiel as a people and gives a lot of rich history and backstory. I'm going to say this is probably far more important in the show than it is in the books, because not a whole lot's been explained about the Aiel yet. We know very little about them. We do know that Rand is an Aiel, or we have a high degree of confidence he's an Aiel from just watching the show. If you haven't read the books before, you also have a high degree of confidence that Tam is not his father and that Rand was adopted. You also know that Rand is the Dragon Reborn because we've seen that at the end of the 2nd season. Now, him walking through the glass columns and it explaining his parentage, his history, the history of the Aiel is way more important in the show because unlike the books, we weren't hit over the head with a giant, big flashing red sign saying that Rand is Aiel, Tam's not his dad, Rand is likely going to be very important in the prophecies of the Aiel. We haven't seen much of that in the show at all. In the books, you pretty much know it at this point. In the show, Amazon has left it as a little bit of a mystery, because they love their little bit of a mysteries. In fact, in Season 1, we didn't know Rand was a dragon until much later in the season. What if they had followed the book events exactly, we would have known in the first episode. So they like that little bit of mystery. So what have I learned about the episode? Well, I know that Rand is going to walk through the glass columns during The Road to the Spear, which, of course, he's going to. But I also know that Yosha Stradowski is not just playing Rand, but he's also going to play all of his ancestors. Now, this ties into some hints that we've already seen. So, we've seen it in interviews with Rafe Judkins that he said that he was coming from the set of Rhuidean, and that kind of mixed in with the fact that we knew Yosha Stradowski was filming in and around that time in heavy prosthetics. So, why would he be in heavy prosthetics? Well, there was some speculation that this could be the reason, but I have it confirmed from a source close to production that he will also be playing his ancestors for those flashbacks. So, it is Yosha playing the characters. And what flashbacks are we going to see? Well, they're going to follow the books pretty closely. We're going to start off first with Rand's father. Rand's father is a clan chief, and his mother is Tigraine. She was, fighting Tam on the slopes of Dragonmount, and gave birth to Rand, and Rand ended up going home with Tam because his mother didn't make it. So we get to see the aftermath of that fight, that aftermath of the cold open scene. Then we also get to see him stepping further into the glass columns and seeing through Mandian's eyes. Now, Mandian is the first clan chief to go into Rhuidean, go through the glass columns, and learn about the history of the Aiel. So we see that. Before that, we get to see Luwin. Now, Luwin is the first modern Aiel, I guess we'll call him. He was a Dashen Aiel, a servant of the Aes Sedai. They were wandering aimlessly, and a bunch of people got kidnapped, including his sister, and him and some other people left the wagons. They went and they chased down the kidnappers, and they ended up killing. When they came back, they had killed with a spear, which is a tool, not a sword, which is a weapon, and they were disowned and exiled. Now, when that happened, they became the first modern Aiel. And we walk back a little bit further, and we get to see through Roderick's eyes. Now, Roderick is a Dashen Aiel from the Age of Legends, so we get to see him around the time that they're packing up all of the ter'angreal and all the wagons in front of Paradisen. And we've already seen a lot of leaks to that effect. We've seen a lot of pictures, a lot of different video clips, things like that have been leaked on social media of those particular scenes that were shot in South Africa. So we knew that they were going to show it. We just didn't really know how. So this is pretty much all the things that I've been able to find out about this particular episode. None of it should be a massive surprise, but I'm very comforted in the fact that we're spending a lot of time on something that I personally consider very, very important to the season. I know a lot of you folks probably do as well. So we do get to see an extended period of time through Rand's ancestors' eyes, a complete history of the Aiel, all the way back to the very first modern Aiel, and then back to the Age of Legends, which is something I'm really grateful we're going to see. All right, so now we're going to shift gears away from the leaks to something else that's near and dear to my heart. That's At.I. And after this, we'll talk about the Kickstarter. So At.I is a song parody contest held by the Village Council. So that's myself, Lauren from Unraveling the Pattern, and the two hosts of the Dusty Wheel, Matt Hatch and us. And every single year we do a song parody challenge where we invite the fandom to create song parodies based on their favorite songs that are Wheel of Time related. They submit them, and as long as they meet certain submission criteria, which you can see over at whatidle.com, we will host them in a live kind of showdown on the Dusty Wheel. So we randomly match these things up, and then people vote on their favorite ones, and they move forward all through semifinals and into finals, and then we finally crown a winner. There's some pretty neat prizes every single year, although focus is more on being creative and having fun than really winning, but some people really get a kick out of winning too, so there's that. There is a competition element to it. And we have some really incredibly talented people in the fandom. Every year we get blown away with every single entry we get. The passion, the love of the Wheel of Time, and the celebration of the fandom all shines through in everyone's entries, and we all have a really good time with it. And every year we tend to have some celebrity guest judges too. So last year I think we had Kate Fleetwood, who plays Leandrin from the show, on. Year before that we had Marcus Rutherford, who plays Perrin, Hammett Animashon, who plays Loyal. We've had a few other celebrity guest judges, and I've been able to confirm one celebrity guest judge so far for us this year, and she will appear likely on one of the shows in July, because the shows are likely coming out the first week of July or so. That's Claire Grant. I'm sure a lot of the fandom probably knows who Claire Grant is. She's been here on the channel, talk Wheel of Time with me before. She's a massive Wheel of Time fan. She's a very talented actress and voice actress, a writer, director, and just all-round awesome purveyor of geekdom, and she's going to come on and be a guest judge with us, which is going to be a whole lot of fun. We should see her on the July 2nd show of At.I. Now, if you're interested in learning more about At.I, seeing some of the entries from the last couple of years or the winners from the last few years, they're all put together in playlists over on whatidle.com. Submission rules are there, as well as everything else you can possibly think of. So go take a look at that stuff, and you'll be able to see all of the really neat things that the fandom puts together for At.I. And now we're going to jump into that Kickstarter. So I get a chance to sit down with Koala Sedai. We talked just a little bit about the Kickstarter that she's putting together. And again, the links for the Kickstarter are down below in the description box. And here's Koala just talk just a little bit about this really cool project that she's put together. Hi everyone, as promised, we have Koala Sedai here to talk a little bit about some new Wheel of Time merchandise that's coming our way that they have started a Kickstarter for. So why don't we dive into that right now? I know I'm pretty excited about this. So what do you have in store for us?
Thanks so much for having me, John. Well, Cards of Time Season 2 are here, but wait, there's more. So, in fact, I probably went a little bit too far. Oh, I don't know, John, wait on. Can you ever have enough Wheel of Time?
No, there's no such
No.
thing as too much.
Oh, good. Then I didn't go too far. So, um, through stuff that happened at WhatCon when we were playing cards with the Cards of Time that I developed last year, we kind of got talking and started deciding that, it would be really fun to develop a fill in the blank style question and answer game. And so it ended up becoming a Discord, and people joined the Discord, and lots of the fandom have collaborated in creating a game that we've given an overarching name to of Questioners Seeking Dark Friends. So the whole idea being the White Cloak Questioners have found your group and they're looking for dark friends. They have many questions to put to you. And so that means that we have question cards and then answer cards. And I think most of you probably know how those kind of games play out after that. But in this game, therefore, the white cards are the question cards because you're the white cloaks, and the black cards have the dragon's fang on them and other answer cards. So then it kind of became a thing we had to work out, well, how do we make sure we cater to everybody who might want to play? Because some people have still only watched the show without reading the books. So we created 3 sets of cards, and dare I say, so far. One set of cards is a 500 pack of cards that are show only. So there's no book spoilers in them at all. Perfectly safe to play. Well, they're pretty irreverent, but otherwise they're perfectly safe to play. Then there's a 1,000 card set, which have full book spoilers. And we decided that it would be really fun to have an expansion pack set that just catered to fandom in-jokes. And that became really, really fun to make that set. And we reached out right across the community, encouraging everybody, including content creators, to throw in jokes that might have come out of things that people would only know if they've been watching their channel or listening to their podcast or whatever. So you can play with any of those packs alone, or you can mash all 3 packs together. You can separate them out later because they do have something obviously identifying on them as to which set they are, but they can just all be mashed in together and played, which would be great at one of the cons where you could have a huge table of people playing with all of the cards together. So if you like cards, puns, irreverent humor, and you love the Wheel of Time, you are in for the best time ever.
So the Kickstarter goes live on May 9th, I think you said, when we talked
Yep.
earlier.
So
Okay.
that's it. May the 9th. So we're getting this out early because we want you to be thinking about this and working out, how much fun do I want? And ready to jump in as soon as that Kickstarter goes live, because it'll only be live for 3 weeks.
Okay.
So you've only got 3 weeks to make your mind up of what you want, jump in, get it. And that's because, would you believe it worked out to be cheaper to print the cards here in Australia and to post them over to America than
Oh
to print
wow.
them in America. We spent months getting quotes, trying to figure this out, and unbelievable. So even though we had to pay the postage to send them over, it
It's
still
still
worked
cheaper.
out cheaper. Yep, yep. So go Australia. Yay.
So
So
we've left a link to the Kickstarter down below in the description box, and I'll be pushing it on all my social media over the next couple of days as well, especially as we get closer to
fabulous.
that May 9th date, because this is something I'm excited about too. Um, so you said that there might be some other things that people could do as well in addition to this card game, and what would that be?
There are Kickstarter, you'll be able to get these cards, and I think John's going to show us what the cards look like, or the backs of the cards at least, and that way you'll see what we've actually named the 3 decks.
Yeah, so
And
right now
when
we're
you
seeing here on the screen, these are the white cloak and the dark friend cards, and they're really cool looking. Like I'm excited to see these. They look pretty neat. But in addition to this, you said they could have them to print something else as well.
exactly. So these are what are being offered on the Kickstarter, but then we've got some add-ons that you can get at the same time as you're getting those cards. And so one of the things that happened through running the Discord was I accidentally designed another whole set of cards. And it kind of
As
happens,
one
when
does, it
you
just kind of fall into it.
I know. It was like someone said something and I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. And next thing I know, I'm doing it. And so that's a set of regular playing cards, except that they're named Matt Bloody Cawthon's Classic Gambler's Deck. And so they run like a regular deck of playing cards, except that they have Matt themed suits, which
Neat.
is horns, dice, goblets, and daggers, and they have Matt as the different face cards. Also, every card, so there's 54 total, 52 cards plus the 2 joker or gamblers. And with those cards, every one of them have got a different Matt quote printed on them as well out of the shows. So there's 54 quotes on the cards as well. So they'll, and I think that you've got an image of some examples
Yeah,
of what
so
they look like
so
too, John.
this is what the mat cards look like here. I think they're gorgeous. I can't wait to get a hold of a set of them myself. I'm not gonna lie to you folks. Um, but yeah, like, so this is an add-on. They can add on to the Kickstarter. So when you folks go to the Kickstarter page, and I know a lot of you will probably do this because a lot of you love Wheel of Time merch, and there isn't a whole lot of official merch out there right now, and the fans are just killing it. They're coming up with some really nice some merchandise, and this card game is something that I personally am going to get, and I think I will enjoy playing with my friends and family, whether they like Wheel of Time or not. I don't care. I'm going to make them play it. But you can add on this mat deck as well, which I'm definitely going to be doing. And I will mention that this whole thing just kind of happened, and the Kickstarter ends at the beginning of June for a reason. Because most people, if you are going to WotCon, you can pick them up there because Koala will be at WotCon, and they will have the sets there with them to pass them out. And if you're not going to be at WotCon, they can be posted or mailed from WotCon, so you'll get them sometime after that if you're living in the States or Canada, on this side of the pond, so to speak. So this is going to happen soon, and if you are going to WotCon, and I'm going to do a whole video on WotCon here in a couple of days probably because it's coming up very soon. I imagine there's going to be a ton of people there playing this game specifically because you're going to have some with you
Yeah.
and be passing them out, so it's going to be all over the place, which is going to be really neat.
We had
I
so
wonder
much.
if Guy Roberts will play with you. That would be kind of interesting.
Well, I'm I'm really hoping that Guy will play Uno's eye patch with us. So that's the card game that I developed last year. that was based on the Cards of Time. So I'll have my deck of them with me again, and it would be really fun if we
That would be
could
super
get
neat.
Guy playing Uno's eye patch with us. That would be a hoot.
That would be awesome. So, are there tiers to the Kickstarter? So, what different levels do people commit to based on what they want? So, if they want the full set or different sets, it's different amounts.
Exactly. So the way it will work is there's three tiers, except that there's kind of two of each tier, one which is the pickup tier and one which is the I need them posted to me tier.
Mhm.
But those three tiers are just for those three decks of questioner cards. And then things like the MAC cards, they're an add-on. So the MAC cards have got copyrighted material in them because I used the face of Donald and Barney on those cards. So they are not for sale. They're available as an add-on. You're just paying to have them printed. So
Okay,
I
very
made
good.
them. They're for you, but I can't afford obviously to print
Just to
them
give them away
and
for
send
free.
them
Yeah,
to
yeah.
you. Exactly. I'm giving them away for free. And honestly, we're not making much money on the other cards either. It really has been just such a fun project. So other add-ons that you can get is if you missed out on the season one Cards of Time or the Uno's eye patch set last year, again, they're not for sale. You can pay for the printing and the
Okay.
postage and have them added on and sent to you. I know that there are some people who didn't quite get the whole deck trading and collecting them at WhatCon, which turned out, let me tell you, I I thought this was a fun idea, but I was nearly in tears at times at WhatCon watching the excitement of people running around trying to convince people to trade cards with them so that they could complete the sets. I may have seen even one romantic couple almost physically tussling.
That's
And
amazing.
that just really like it, just filled my heart. Someone at some point ended up just on their own bat setting up a trading table so that people, rather than people just having to walk around and talk to
Mhm.
each other, people would collect at the trading table. And oh my God, if somebody put down a card that was really wanted, everything would go off at that trading table as people tried to grab it. And I didn't expect that people to have that much fun with them. So if you're coming to WhatCon, the season two cards will be given out for free. I will be
Mhm.
printing a couple of thousand of them again to give out for free to people to collect and trade with. But they will be available as an add-on if you just want to pay the price of printing and have your own set. That's
That's awesome.
fine. But trading with them at a con is
That is
really
that
ridiculous
is the
fun.
fun. Yeah.
It really
So
was. And for me, who didn't know anybody
that's a
personally, like as
great way
in
to meet
face to
people.
face yet, I, I just walked around the whole time talking to people and giving out cards, and it really made me feel confident because I'm a much less confident person socially than you might expect because I'm sitting in my own little room here talking to you, and that is totally different to being in a room with a couple of hundred
With
people,
yes, it's a lot of
right?
pressure with that many people.
It is. It's a totally different thing, but it made WhatCon it's such a experience for me that I can't describe how amazing it felt to be there and feel like I can do this. I can just walk around and talk to people because I'd go, would you like your morning cards or would you like your afternoon cards?
That's
And
amazing.
people were just so excited about the cards. So I'm really looking forward to doing that again at WhatCon this year.
So this year's going to be bonkers. So I've left a link down below, folks, again to the Kickstarter. It's down below in the
Thank
description.
you.
Click that, bookmark it, check back off, and it'll go live May 9th. It'll be live till about June 1st ish. So if you folks want to pick up any of the tiers while you're in there, do that. Add the add-ons. I know I'm going to be doing probably all of it because I'm really excited for it. You can do that. And Koalas At.I has been very nice and provided me here with a few of the season 2 of the Cards of Time, and I'm going to be displaying them up here next. Thank you so much, Koala, for staying with us today. I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to see everyone's excitement and all the pictures coming out of WotCon playing this card game. It's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Thank you so much, John. I love what you do for the fandom.
Thank
We
you.
would be just so lost without your news and leaks. We love it.
Awesome. Thanks so much. All right, let's deal with those Season 2 cards. All right, so of course, videos about Rand. We have to start with Rand, which Randall Thor. The artwork on these cards are absolutely amazing. These are the second edition, or Season 2, as you will, of the Cards of Time. These were released by At.I in the lead up to last WotCon, and then they passed them out at WotCon as well while they were there. So if you're fortunate enough to be at WotCon this year, she's going to be walking around passing out packs of these cards, and you can also order a full printed set from her as well. Then we have Brother Dagger, Matt Cawthon. Of course, we have to talk about Matt Cawthon, the Horn Sounder himself from Season 2. We're going to see a lot more of him in Season 3, which I'm very excited for because he is one of my favorite characters. Not the favorite, but one of them. Sister No Braid, Egwene Elvira. I love these nicknames that she came up with for each of these characters. They're absolutely fantastic. Brother Layback Ivan. This is one of Alana Sedai's warders. And yep, 100% the most laid back warder in the show. Snack Water Maxim. So if you follow Taylor Napier and Priyanka Bose on social media, they kind of go back and forth a fair bit. There's kind of a running joke that he's always feeding her snacks, so he got the name of the Snack Water. Really interesting. If you don't follow the cast on social media, you're missing out on like half the cool stuff about the show because they really love to interact with the fandom. Then we have Brother Longnails, High Lord Turok. Of course, the artwork in these are absolutely amazing. Again, I am just in awe of some of the things our fandom can do. And then Sister Savage Rena, I am saddened to say that his character will not make it out of Season 1 because he didn't quite make it through. However, you do get to see the actor who plays Rena in Fallout. So you get to see him in the first and in the last episode of Fallout, which is really, really, really cool show. Like, absolutely friggin' amazing. You love adaptations, and you love video games. Even if you don't like Fallout, it's a really, really good show. But if you do like the games, the show is, in my opinion, absolutely amazing. It mirrors a lot of, especially Fallout 4. I really, really enjoyed it. So these are the first few Cards of Time. So if you want to follow Koala over on X or our other socials, or some of the other content creators, these will be released in the lead up to WotCon, all over the place. So on social media and other people's channels and whatnot, you'll get to see them there. So make sure you keep an eye out for them. And I want to thank you all very much for sticking with us here to the very end. And here's to many more.